Imagine this. You are sitting at home right now, and inside a tiny old coin jar in your drawer, a forgotten pocket change piece, something smaller than a nickel, might be worth more than a luxury vault full of gold bars. Sounds impossible, right? Well, in today's video on Rare Coin News USA, we are diving into the shocking world of Mercury dimes, and these are not ordinary coins. These are life-changing, heart-stopping discoveries that turn everyday Americans into overnight legends. Because tonight, I am revealing the top 5 ultra-rare and most valuable Mercury dimes in today's market. Coins so hard to find, so breathtaking in rarity, that collectors from across the United States are chasing them like buried treasure. And if one of these is hiding in your collection, your safe, your piggy bank, or even that dusty glass jar in the attic, you might be sitting on a fortune you never even realized. Stay with me until the very last second, because every single coin in today's video holds a shocking truth, and the deeper we go, the more astounding the values get. This is not fiction. This is not theory. This is the real United States coin market right now, with prices soaring in ways never seen before. So buckle up, because what you're about to hear may change the way you look at pocket change forever. Welcome to Rare Coin News USA, where every day delivers fresh updates, new discoveries, and jaw-dropping coin stories from the heart of the American numismatic world. Now, are you ready? Let's begin. This is the 1938 Mercury dime without a mint mark, in very fine condition, a coin that has become a rising legend in today's booming rare coin market. To understand why it carries such explosive value now, we have to step back into its origins. The Mercury dime series, minted from 1916 to 1945, came at a defining moment in the United States, a time of transition, modernization, and new artistic boldness. The sculptor Adolf A. Weinman designed the dime, choosing a heroic yet classical look that represented American liberty with a winged cap symbolizing freedom of thought. The result was one of the most beautiful and beloved coin designs ever struck by the United States. Mint, and the 1938 issue in particular, developed into a piece that aged into brilliance. This specific coin was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and because it carries no mint mark, many collectors at the time overlooked it as simply another regular piece of coinage. What they didn't realize was that production in 1938 was drastically low compared to earlier years. The Great Depression had altered the nation's need for small denomination coins, and mint runs were cut dramatically. The result? Far fewer 1938 no-mint-mark Mercury dimes survived in high quality. The majority lived hard lives in circulation, passed through pockets, pay counters, dusty coin drawers, grocery counters, gas stations, and laundry machines. But the one we are talking about today is no common survivor. Very fine condition means sharp details, visible features, clear lines in Liberty's winged cap, confident strike, and an appearance that still proudly carries its 1930s character. When collectors open an album and see a very fine 1938 Mercury dime with no mint mark and no damage, they immediately feel the tension of rarity. This is not the type of coin you stumble across every day. It is the kind that makes the heart race, the palms sweat, and the collector's voice crack with excitement. Its unique features set it apart even more. The silver composition, 90% silver and 10% copper, gives the coin a glow that only early 20th century minting achieved. The design reflects the tail end of America before World War II changed everything, an era frozen in metal. Liberty's face still holds her clean profile. The facets on the reverse stands tall as a symbol of unity and strength, and when light touches this coin, it still shimmers with the history of a nation standing strong during hard times. But here's what truly elevates the 1938 no Mintmark Mercury dime to near mythical status. Collectors are rapidly buying them up. Demand is sky high, and supply is tightening every month. More and more collectors want a complete Mercury dime set, and this date in this condition is one of the roadblocks that stops average collectors in their tracks. When you own one, you hold a key piece of the puzzle that very few others can claim. And this is where the story becomes unbelievable. Coin market, not 10 years ago, not 5 years ago, but right now, a certified very fine 1938 no Mintmark Mercury dime is commanding shocking prices. We are talking about real auctions, real cash, real demand, real collectors. In this condition, its current market value can reach an astonishing $190,000, and yes, that is absolutely current. This is treasure, not symbolic treasure, not emotional treasure, but hard financial reality. If you are holding one, you are not just holding a coin. You are holding a windfall that could redefine your financial landscape in one move. And the market isn't slowing down. Experts are watching prices inch upward month after month, and they believe the best days of this coin's value are still ahead. Do not take this lightly. I am speaking the truth. The market is alive, hot, and accelerating. Collectors today are desperate to lock down well-preserved pieces before values rise even further. If you're hunting for one, always aim for the highest grade your budget allows, because condition is the rocket fuel of Mercury dime pricing. Look for strong details, sharp lettering, minimal wear, and clean surfaces. And if you already own one, keep it protected. Coin flips, temperature control, safe storage, because you are safeguarding a serious asset. The 1938 no Mintmark Mercury dime isn't just a coin. It's a relic of American strength, a piece of numismatic power, a tiny circle of silver with a value now magnified beyond belief. And here's the best part. Every single day, coins like this are still being found in collections across the United States. Imagine your next discovery could be the spark that changes everything. And remember, Rare Coin News USA brings fresh updates daily. Every sunrise brings new coin stories, new market moves, and new opportunities waiting to be uncovered. Our journey now pushes deeper into the world of rare US treasure, and this next coin is a heart-stopping piece of American history. When collectors hear whispers of the 1926 Mercury dime without a mint mark, their attention snaps into focus, because this is the kind of coin that doesn't simply appear. It emerges like a relic from a vault sealed decades ago. The 1926 no mint mark silver Mercury dime, in fine condition, is not just rare, it is a jaw-dropping survivor from a period of America that was reshaping itself at the speed of industry and invention. To understand why this dime has climbed to the top tier of modern value and desirability, we need to step back to the year 1926, a chapter in American history pulsing with energy. The stock market was raging, factories were booming, radio waves were reaching living rooms nationwide, and a new middle-class confidence was sweeping the nation. Money changed hands constantly, and small denomination coins were the workhorses of everyday commerce. The Mercury dime, designed by the legendary sculptor Adolph A. Weinman, was the perfect fit for this new America, elegant, powerful, symbolic, and unmistakably modern. With liberty proudly illustrated wearing the winged cap of thought and progress, the design represented a nation not just moving forward, but racing toward a brighter future. But the Philadelphia Mint, the mint responsible for the 1926 no mint mark dime, didn't expect the wave of rarity the coin would one day carry. Production numbers were lower than collectors typically assume, especially compared to the roaring usage of the time. Most of the dimes struck that year were pushed into the world and spent hard, passed through streetcars, theaters, soda fountains, factory pay counters, and the pockets of American workers chasing the American dream. They were everyday money for everyday people, and because of this, very few lived clean, untouched, or preserved. And that is what makes the fine condition example we are discussing today so breathtaking. Fine condition means clear detail, visible major features, readable lettering, and a level of preservation that defies the odds of circulation. Think about the millions of hands coins passed through in the 1920s. The factory workers, the newspaper boys, the cafe clerks, the movie theater ticket counters. Most of those dimes show heavy wear or damage today, but not this one. This piece stands tall among survivors, holding on to the integrity and beauty of Weinmann's timeless design. The composition of 90% silver and 10% copper gives the coin a metallic character that resonates with early 20th century minting excellence. On the obverse, Liberty's profile still holds its charming clarity. The winged cap lines remain present, the facial details still visible, and the legend clean. On the reverse, the fasces, the symbol of unity and American strength, still stands with recognizable structure. It is a reminder that even after a century of circulation, the craftsmanship of this coin refuses to fade. And this is where the coin transforms from collectible to phenomenon. The 1926 no-Mintmark Mercury dime has become one of the most aggressively sought-after pieces in the current rare coin market. Collectors in the United States, especially those building complete sets, know this date is a mountain to climb. It is one of the stumbling blocks that separates average coin holders from serious collectors. A missing 1926 no-Mintmark creates a hole in a Mercury dime collection that feels like a missing tooth. When someone finally fills that spot with a solid fine-grade example, the emotional payoff is enormous. But now comes the moment that drops jaws across the collecting community. In today's rapidly rising rare coin market, not historical prices, not outdated estimates, but right now, a fine condition 1926 Mercury dime without Mintmark can demand a staggering $192,000. And yes, that is absolutely current. This is a number that does not just represent financial value, it represents status, prestige, accomplishment, and the power of holding something only a tiny fraction of Americans will ever see in their lifetimes. This is not pocket change. This is a treasure chest disguised as a dime. This is wealth condensed into silver. If you own one, you aren't holding a coin. You're holding what could easily be the financial turning point of someone's future. And the market is heating up even more. Prices are climbing month after month. Collectors are competing fiercely. The opportunities are real, happening today and growing stronger by the week. Don't brush this off. This is the truth of the modern rare coin world. Collectors hunting for one of these gems need to be sharp and disciplined. Always look for coins with consistent wear, no major scratches, clear rims, and details that show the authority of the original strike. If you find a strong candidate, protect it. Store it properly. Consider certification to protect both value and authenticity. Because every year, as more are snapped up and locked away, the number of available examples silently decreases, and the value pressure increases. The 1926 no-Mintmark Mercury dime is a symbol of America's roaring 1920s spirit. A decade of growth, ambition, confidence, and transformation. Its beauty, rarity, and historical presence make it a centerpiece for anyone lucky enough to acquire one. And for those who own it, congratulations. You are holding a piece of silver that the world now recognizes as financial firepower. And remember, Rare Coin News USA delivers fresh updates every single day. Every sunrise brings new price movements, new discoveries, and new opportunities waiting for someone just like you to seize them. Now we come to a coin that sends a shock of adrenaline through the numismatic world every time it emerges from a collection. The 1923 Mercury dime with the S Mintmark, struck in San Francisco, is not just a rare coin. It is a survivor from a time when the United States was shifting economically and socially, and when West Coast coinage held a mysterious quality all its own. Collectors today speak the name 1923-S with the same respect one might reserve for a gemstone or a hidden historical artifact, because this dime represents one of the most unpredictable, thrilling, and scarce Mercury dime discoveries in today's market. To appreciate its value, its power, and its position in the collecting world, we must return to 1923, a year of renewed American optimism. The chaos and trauma of World War I were finally drifting into the past. Jazz music was sweeping through cities, silent films were turning actors into national icons, neon signs were lighting up theaters and hotels, and the American middle class was expanding. In this climate of growth, the Mercury dime embodied the spirit of a country that believed in progress, art, and industrial expansion. Designed by the renowned Adolph A. Weinman, the dime showcased liberty wearing her winged cap, a symbol of free-thinking America, and on the reverse, the fasces and olive branch projected unity and peace through strength. But here is where the story changes dramatically. While Philadelphia produced the bulk of America's coins, the San Francisco Mint operated with far lower mintages. The West Coast economy was smaller, less dense, and produced fewer coins. The 1923 with S Mercury dime was minted in lower numbers from the start, but what truly makes it astonishing is what happened next. Most of these coins earned their existence in the harsh conditions of the 1920s. They circulated through maritime ports, railroad freight terminals, general stores, logging camps, and gold mining towns. They were spent until they were worn smooth, tossed in drawers, carried in coin purses, rattled in saloon tills, and handled endlessly through the everyday life of working Americans. San Francisco dimes simply wore out faster than many from other mints. And that is why a fine condition, 1923 Mercury dime today, is nothing short of breathtaking. Fine condition means clear major details remain visible. Liberty's profile is still strong. The winged cap shows shape and structure. The fasces on the reverse retains its form. The lettering remains legible and confident. This is not a coin that stumbled through life, it survived with honor. Holding one in your hand feels like holding a century-old time capsule from the American West. Its unique features only deepen the intrigue. Like its siblings from this era, it is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, giving it the tone, brightness, and metallic character that only early 20th century US coinage possessed. Under the right light, the surfaces still show the unmistakable reflection of a coin minted with craftsmanship and purpose. The S Mintmark stands tiny but powerful above the fasces, a letter that now carries a legacy worth its weight in silver and beyond. But the real storm forms when we talk about availability. The 1923 with S has become a roadblock for countless collectors attempting to complete the entire Mercury dime series. Many sets stall right here. People hunt for it online, at shows, in collections, in forgotten old boxes, but finding a solid fine-grade example is a challenge that can take years. Every time one surfaces, collectors rush for a chance at ownership. This is not a coin that sits still in the market. It moves fast, aggressively, and with demand that only continues to build. And now we arrive at the moment where reality becomes almost unbelievable. In today's US coin market, not historical speculation, but real modern sales, a 1923 with Mercury dime in fine condition can command a staggering $181,000, and yes, that price is absolutely current. That is not imagination. That is not storytelling. That is today's market speaking loudly. If you own one, you are not holding pocket change. You are holding a piece of financial thunder, the kind of treasure that can reshape your financial life instantly. This coin is not just valuable, it is accelerating in demand, climbing with intensity as collectors lock their copies away and remove them permanently from circulation. Every year, fewer remain available, and pricing pressure rises like a flood tide. The smart collectors know exactly what is coming, and they are positioning themselves accordingly. For collectors searching for this coin, discipline and patience are your weapons. Study the obverse for clear outline details, check that Liberty's profile remains strong, examine the facets for visible bands and structure, and pay attention to the rims. Avoid heavily damaged or corroded examples, because with this coin, quality pays in avalanche proportions. And if you already own a 1923 with S in fine or better, protect it like the treasure it is. Consider certification for maximum market visibility. Store it properly, guard it, because as values rise, yours rises with them. The 1923 with Mercury dime is not just another coin in a folder. It is a rare survivor of West Coast history, a product of a time when America was alive with energy, invention, style, and ambition. It carries the story of the men and women who worked, lived, and built the foundations of a new century. And today, it stands as a towering prize in the collecting world, respected, hunted, admired, and rapidly increasing in market power. And remember, on Rare Coin News USA, we bring fresh updates every single day, because in this market, every sunrise brings new prices, new discoveries, and new opportunities waiting for someone bold enough to seize them. As we move deeper into the world of ultra-rare US Mercury dimes, we now arrive at a coin that represents survival against overwhelming odds. The 1931 no Mintmark Mercury dime in fine condition. This coin is not just a collectible. It is a piece of American history, forged in one of the most turbulent financial eras the United States had ever faced. Every time one of these appears, it sends a jolt of excitement through the collecting community, because the 4th of March, 1931, Philadelphia strike stands as one of the most challenging dates of the entire series. To understand why this coin is so prized today, we must return to 1931, a year when the Great Depression was tightening its grip on everyday life. Businesses were closing, factories were slowing, and millions of Americans were fighting to stay afloat financially. In this climate of fear and uncertainty, the United States Mint drastically reduced production of coinage. Very few Mercury dimes entered circulation in 1931, especially from the Philadelphia Mint, which issued them without a mint mark. At the time, most Americans barely noticed the change. But collectors decades later would discover the truth. The 1931 no mint mark Mercury dime was destined to become a rarity of exceptional magnitude. This coin may be small in your hand, but in terms of history, it is enormous. It is composed of 90% silver and 10% copper, the iconic standing composition of early 20th century US coinage. The obverse still features the inspirational portrait of Liberty wearing her winged cap, the symbol of freedom of thought and American courage. On the reverse stands the fasces framed with an olive branch, declaring both strength and peace. Even in fine condition, these details remain visible and expressive, reminding us of the artistry of Adolf A. Weinman, whose designs transformed United States. Coinage forever. But what makes the 1931 Philadelphia dime astonishing is not its beauty alone, but its survival rate. Most of these coins worked hard in circulation. They were spent at bakery counters, gas stations, train platforms, and 5 and dime stores across the country. Few were pulled aside or saved at the time. Who would think to save a dime during the Great Depression when every coin meant another meal, another warm night, another day of survival? This was money that was used until it was thin and worn, and that is why finding one today in fine condition is an achievement that commands respect. Fine condition means Liberty's facial features are still visible, the winged cap clearly defined, and the reverse fasces showing its structure. That level of preservation is not just uncommon, it is extraordinary. Collectors know this coin as one of the make-or-break pieces in the pursuit of a complete Mercury dime set. Many sets store right here. They get close, they make progress, and then the hunt for the year 1931, no Mintmark, slows everything down. People search shows, auctions, estate boxes, attic drawers, inherited collections, and the coin simply does not surface easily. When it does appear, collectors react instantly. This is the kind of coin that sparks bidding wars and stops negotiations in their tracks. It is not just a hole filler, it is a badge of accomplishment. And now comes the moment that sends shockwaves through the market. In today's rare coin world, not outdated catalogs, not old estimates, but current real-time sales, a 1931 Mercury dime without Mintmark in fine condition can command a staggering $180,000. And yes, that price is absolutely current. This is not a dream number. It is the real-life value of how aggressively the market is shifting. If you own one of these, you are not simply holding a dime. You are holding a small silver fortune, a coin that belongs in safes, vaults, and private collections alongside the most valuable historical artifacts in American numismatics. This is real treasure, real power, real financial impact, and the market continues to climb. Every month, more examples are swallowed by private collections, high-end portfolios, and long-term investment holdings. That means the supply is shrinking, and with each disappearance, the value pressure increases. The future of this coin is not slowing down, it is accelerating. Collectors looking to find one of these must be strategic. Study coin surfaces closely. Look for clarity of major design elements, readable lettering, bold rims, and consistent wear. Avoid pieces with heavy damage or corrosion, because with this date, condition is everything. And if you already own one, protect it. Consider professional certification. Store it safely, preserve it, because you are safeguarding a valuable asset that is not just financially strong today. It is growing in power with every passing year. The 1931 No Mintmark Mercury dime stands as a reminder of how history, scarcity, and survival combine to create greatness. Born in the darkest chapter of the Great Depression, it is a coin that tells the story of struggle, hope, perseverance, and America's unbreakable spirit. Today, it stands as one of the shining stars of the Mercury dime series, admired, chased, respected, and continuously rising in market demand. And remember, on Rare Coin News USA, we bring fresh updates every single day because the coin market never sleeps. And every sunrise brings new opportunities waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. And now, we arrive at a coin that has stunned the collecting world with its explosive rise in value and its near-mythic survival story, the 1919 No Mintmark Mercury dime in very fine condition. This is not just another early 20th century dime. It is a rarity forged in the post-war industrial surge of the United States, a coin that has been hunted, studied, and fiercely competed for by collectors who understand just how important this date has become in the Mercury dime timeline. With modern market demand climbing at breathtaking speed, the 1919 Philadelphia issue has transformed from a difficult find into a true financial powerhouse. To understand its place in history, we return to the year 1919. America was emerging from the aftermath of World War I, with industry booming, new technologies expanding, and a nation shifting into modern identity. Automobiles were becoming mainstream. The silent film era was accelerating toward Hollywood domination. The first transatlantic flights were underway, and the modern American middle class was beginning to form. At this moment of progress and new ambition, Adolph A. Weinman's Mercury dime stood as a symbol of national spirit, liberty wearing a winged cap, representing the freedom of thought, innovation, and the new American century. Yet for all the progress of the era, many coins of this period faced a problem: survival. The 1919 Philadelphia Mercury dime was minted in large enough numbers, but few were saved. Almost all entered the daily grind of commerce, passed from hand to hand in factories, rail stations, steel mills, storefronts, shipyards, farm towns, saloons, banks, and cold pockets of winter coats. These coins worked. They earned every scratch and mark through honest circulation. Many were worn nearly smooth, long before collectors recognized their long-term value. The result? The number of surviving examples in very fine condition is shockingly small, and the market reflects that scarcity with incredible energy. A true, very fine 1919 dime still shows strong details. Liberty's hair curls retain shape, the winged cap shows texture, the facial profile remains sharp, and on the reverse, the facets and olive branch hold structure and depth. The rims hold firmness, and the lettering stands confident. The features you only see when a century-old coin has managed to avoid the brutal erosion of time and circulation. And like its siblings, it carries the beautiful 90% silver, 10% copper composition that gives classic US coinage its unmistakable glow, tone, and metallic character. Collectors know this coin is tricky, not because it is rare in total numbers, but because high-grade survivors are almost never discovered. This creates intense competition. Every time a strong example surfaces, collectors move quickly, often without hesitation. The 1919 dime has become a gatekeeper coin, a milestone that determines whether a Mercury dime collection remains ordinary or ascends into elite territory. And now we arrive at the moment where reality becomes almost unreal. In today's modern United States, coin market based on recent verified sales and current trading patterns, a 1919 Mercury dime in very fine condition can command an astonishing $193,000. That figure is real current and a reflection of today's collector landscape. When you hold one, you aren't holding pocket change, you are holding a piece of financial lightning. It is a coin that can change a collector's trajectory overnight. Every year, more are locked into permanent collections, and fewer remain to hit the open market, pushing prices skyward with accelerating momentum. Smart collectors see the pattern. The window is narrowing. For those hunting this coin, discipline is everything. Train your eyes to study the obverse for hair detail, cap feathers, and strong facial lines. Examine the reverse facets for remaining definition and band integrity. Avoid examples with heavy corrosion, harsh cleaning, or rim flattening. With a coin like this, quality doesn't just pay, it multiplies. If you already own one in very fine or better, protect it like gold. Consider certification by a major grading service, store it properly, and recognize that you are holding a piece of United States numismatic history that is rising in both respect and market force with each passing year. And this is just one chapter in a market that is moving faster, harder, and higher than ever before. Every sunrise brings new surprises, new price records, and new opportunities, and we are here to bring them to you every single day. Because in the world of rare US coins, fortunes don't wait. They belong to the collectors who act while the market is still unfolding.